Rude. Yeah, this would probably be hard to explain, but let's just say you don't want to buy a magical portal to the human world from Ponmu. At least I'm trying to find a way to fix it all. 2 legs are only good for so long. Well, I mostly was curious about a few things. We've seen the distant future with Princess Twilight and the main 6 we've spent 9 years with, but I didn't get a feel of a good sense of completion when it came to its spin-off Equestria Girls. We've had the movies and some fun shorts, but then it kind of faded away. So since I couldn't get to the human world the way I planned, I guess I already do have some ideas on what might have happened to the Humane 7 as well as some other side characters. Might as well until someone can get back to me on how I can get my pony body back. Yeah, I'm part pony and all furry bait. Just great. The unicorn characters don't even have their horns. So let's get some of the easy ones out of the way with the Humane 7. Seeing as her pony counterpart was made ruler of Equestria, it only made sense that Sidetwi would have the same or similar job as Principal Celestia and Vice Principal Luna. The princess is obviously retired at the ripe old age of 50, and after Sidetwi went to college, she decided to run Canterlot High. Since she was so centered into the school during the friendship games, even did errands for Celestia like taking care of her plants, of course it would make sense that Canterlot High would be her permanent home. Minus the immortality, of course. As for her trusted companion Spike the dog, wait a minute. We're moving on. Next we have Rarity, who also followed closely to her counterpart and decided to run her own boutique. Now I won't say she has multiple locations, but I want to think that she has an online store where people can purchase her work. Since she's already working for Miss Hemline in Display of Affection, she probably moved up to being a manager and even has her own designs being sold at that store as well. Rarity always had one of the more normal occupations along with Applejack, whose job stays within the family. The idea of Rarity traveling to different fashion capitals of the world during college seems fitting for her, and probably will still major in fashion, but also have a minor degree in business to know how to market her work. Very well balanced life, I believe. Let's get to another easy one with I think I love the ending for Applejack the most with The Last Problem. Of course, she was always going to be with her family in the end and continue to run the farm once Granny passed away. I think it's no different for her with the apples here either. Since Granny Smith worked for the school, I think they also had business with them for produce. The Apple family is so vast with businesses everywhere, so it makes sense that they would have a food production company, similar to the alternative timeline with the Cutie remark. But minus the war. And how much easier is it to help with the school's food when one of your good friends is the principal? Applejack also had her siblings who also still took care of the farm, but also had other things. But I'll get to them in a minute. And at least in their older age, she can also be there for a good friend like... Okay, starting to get really tired of that song. Does anybody even watch The Breakfast Club?
Too damn bad!
Rude. With Rainbow Dash, she was already a speedster, so I have no doubt whatever she did getting older would involve speed. But we also have to remember that in the pony world, she was part of the Wonderbolts and retired to live with Applejack. Now, whether it's a Golden Girl style living or Korosami styled, that's up to the fans to decide on. Human-wise, I think Rainbow Dash joined some form of military since the Wonderbolts were military-based. And maybe retired to being a teacher or a captain. Nobody tell Josh Scorcher or the other military bronies that I don't know anything about the military. I'd like to think Rainbow spent at least a little time in the military, but still kept in touch with everyone, and maybe works with Applejack on the farm in exchange for a home. If not actual military, she was a great athlete, so going into professional anything would be really up her alley. Not to mention possibly coming back to Canterlot High as a coach or a gym teacher. Now let's try a not-so-traditional path with... Now I know Fluttershy had her animal sanctuary, and it became her life's work. She worked for an animal shelter, but not even a veterinary office, and even while there was a vet in Ponyville, I guess Fluttershy was more of a freelance worker or maybe an independent clinic. It's why I think if she didn't go to college to be a licensed animal doctor, maybe she went the tree hugger route and traveled around helping different animals in need. And just because it's my own little headcanon, maybe she met a certain eccentric person who had a knack for, let's just say, experimentation on animals. And maybe this certain eccentric person bonded with Fluttershy for her kindness and understanding and love for all animals to the point of being less experimental. But that's just a theory. And we get to the final one that might be my favorite theory. So I can definitely say that party planning is a career. She's done birthdays, anniversaries, birth-iversaries, and a royal wedding reception. But what happens over that time? A husband and a child. Aww. Now this will also go into the cheese sandwich backstory, but we sadly didn't get a human version of him that we know of. Single Pinkie Pie or family maker Pinkie Pie?
Both. Both is good.
Sounds good to me. I think Pinkie went traveling and planned more parties, and on her travels met the party pony himself, Cheese Sandwich. They talked, got closer, planned many parties and events together until the fateful day of planning their own big event like a wedding and even a baby shower. I think it left Pinkie Pie wanting to settle down, and maybe like in the pony world, Cheese Sandwich also had a factory for his ideas and gag gifts, so he can be a stay-at-home dad with little cheese. I'd like to also think that she also stayed working at that 50s-style roller diner and maybe took over it if not working for the cakes, since they do exist in this world as well. Either one, I think I would enjoy. Now let's get through some other options for side characters. You know, I was kind of worried for the longest time how the CMC would translate over to the human world. They don't really have the worries of being a blank flank when there's no flank, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a place for them. I think they do help around the school and maybe go into career counseling for Canterlot High, similar to the ending where they're teaching a full class. If not counseling, I want to think they might be teachers for Canterlot High. I mean, no offense to the series, but there's Cranky, there's Cheerly the librarian, Granny Smith runs the cafeteria, and Celestia and Luna. Where are the rest of this staff? There's even a short about Celestia just being a substitute teacher. Ladies, hire more adults! Hopefully, Sci-Twi realized this and had student teachers in the CMC. Apple Bloom teaching carpentry, Sweetie Belle leading music classes, and Scootaloo leading gym. Maybe even with Rainbow Dash. I mean, I guess she could also be teaching students how to use a motorcycle, seeing as they can just build a whole motocross track in their backyard. Okay, I know she doesn't canonically have a human counterpart, but she does have a human form. Since she runs the friendship school in the future, I can see her having a job at Canterlot High. And it makes all the better sense if the CMC are the student counselors, that leaves Starlight to be part of the high school staff. Maybe as a teacher or helping Sci-Twi as a vice principal. And for someone who begged Sunset to come to the human world, I would absolutely expect her to have fun portal hopping between jobs. Hopefully that bracelet works long distance. From the looks of Trixie in the last episode of the show, she seems to come and go from the friendship school, but able to add her own flair and maybe become a teacher at the school. I have no idea what she would teach, but I guess something might explode in the classroom. I do also like the idea that she follows her dreams of becoming a full-fledged magician, maybe traveling and performing in Las Vegas like her rumored father as seen in Granny's Gone Wild. And of course posting her magic videos like she did in the short Street Magic with Trixie. Really? We're not already shipping them like crazy? This was a fan-made couple that ended up marrying at the end of the show, and you think is any different in the human world? Next name.
Hey, y'all, I'm back for my adventures in another dimension.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Nobody really cares.
Nobody cares, but I saved the entire multiverse from a giant...
Nobody cares.
But I...
Nobody cares.
Oh my god, shut up, a million times shut up. I'm going to kill you. Shut up. Nobody cares.
While I definitely think the same thing happened to the pony version as well with the human version. Probably met Sugar Belle while making deliveries for the family, fell in love, and also helping to take care of the food processing business while Sugar Belle continues her baking. Yeah, same with everything that happened with them from Slice of Life, living as roommates, and probably both making collabs for each other's Clip Clop channel, but also still having their own careers. Octavia being in a symphony, and Vinyl taking DJ gigs and working in her own nightclub. Maybe even having a business together. Nothing says happy hour like smooth jazz mixed with house music.
You want jazz? You got jazz. You want jazz? Too bad, bitch. Now you're getting this.
I ship them. Okay, I ship them. I think they got married and living happily together. Snails randomly became a great athlete, and Snips is a salesman, and possibly a manager for Snails on the side. And now we come to my favorite and most complicated character. So this was probably one of the roughest ones to think about due to Sensa not being as one-dimensional with her likes and hobbies. She does a lot. She's a musician, a gamer, a street artist, dabbled in sciences and magic, and able to hold her own academically. And due to the fact that she now chooses to live in the human world without any regards or sign of a canon counterpart, it's hard to pinpoint what she would do in the future. She might also travel around at least trying to find and stop magic from causing trouble to the human world. There were a lot of sparkles coming from the statue at Canterlot High, and even if the cracks were fixed, it feels like she would be the one to help with dealing with the loose magic running wild and make some new friends along the way. And maybe there's a way of her coming back to and from the human world without the statue portal. Hopefully better than my option. Gee, thanks. Let me know which idea was your favorite in the comments. Hey guys, I was getting door prance. Do you guys want tacos or... Don't say a word.